Welcome home all. Welcome to a Monday, and it is time for 10 Minutes of Truth with Supermex on a very consequential, if not significant day in general, if not in our history. Reminder, and to wit, go back exactly 1 week, and it was an entirely different show, and we discussed and talked about, and I want to remind people of this. 1 week ago, just 1 week ago, we were discussing and enjoying and spending time with loved ones and friends, relatives, etc. On Memorial Day, paying tribute, or at least supposed to pay tribute to America's fallen and the people that have given their lives for this country so that we can exist and enjoy our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And that was just 1 week ago. But also 1 week ago, we had the incident in Minnesota with Mr. Floyd, and what again will be a consequential date, Memorial Day 2020, and everything that has come since then. So for those of you that are observant and more noticeable in terms of what I'm doing on the screen and what I look like, I'm entirely in black today because in that time period, also that late Monday night last week on Memorial Day into the following Tuesday of last week, we also went over 100,000 deaths, at least knowing of 100,000 deaths due to the coronavirus. 100,000 Americans plus dead. The number is now over 105. I think it's up to 106,000 deaths. And all of that is for the record. But what I want to point out is, and leave that up for me, KP, while we're at it. So what I want to point out is, as you digest and saturate yourself with the numbers, because this has been an ongoing situation for me. It isn't just, oh, look at these bad things. It's to draw focus and discipline to the things that are factual and going on. You cannot solve problems if you are unaware of the existence of said problems. And if you choose to deny or minimize or bury your head in the sand when it comes to the problems that we face, then those problems will never be solved. And the direction and the road that took us to those problems will also never be known. Therefore, we do not solve the problems in advance. And as most of you know, I'm an old U.S. history teacher, an old history teacher in general, and I'm all about knowing what's come before so we do not repeat those same mistakes going forward. Yes, know your past so you're not repeating the same mistakes of the past. That is my life. That is what I'm about. So I'm in black. I am mourning for the over 100,000 Americans that are dead and in their graves and that loved ones are mourning for. I mourn with you. They're Americans, 100,000 of them plus and rising, and they're gone. That is what I mourn for. In addition, and yes, I'm entirely in black to mourn and to show solidarity with my brothers that are black, whatever that is nowadays, right? Because no one will deny, and anyone that does or tries to minimize, excuse, or refuse to acknowledge the fact that, yeah, I can't understand what it is to be a black man in America because I'm not a black man. I'm a brown man. I've got my own issues, but I have never been subjected to that kind of treatment. I have never been slaughtered like an animal on the side of the road. I have never been put in that position of helplessness. I've had situations. They have been bad, and I have been treated poorly, extremely poorly by law enforcement. Yeah, even to that road. Not as bad, obviously, still here, but I've been on the receiving end. Okay? So knowing just one small bit, I stand with my brothers and sisters that have dealt with this for quite some time, obviously because it's not new. It's ongoing. And for all of those of you that are watching now, don't be someone that says, well, it's happened before. That doesn't make it okay. And it doesn't excuse it for right now. This is America. We're supposed to get better, not regress or stagnate. To reiterate, this is America. We're not supposed to be repeating the same mistakes of our past. And for those of you that are cynical and say, well, it happens all the time, you're absolutely correct. But I stand here to make sure that I will bring forward the things that we can correct and do every damn thing that I possibly can to make sure that it doesn't going forward. Factually, we are now at 106,542 American deaths as of today. We are at American job loss. 40.7 million Americans are out of work that we know about. And the one that I've been sliding in on you because it is significant and relevant and does bear powerful consequences for future generations, not just my own, but everybody that comes after me. American debt stands at $25.7 trillion and climbing. How do we solve those problems? I've already addressed that. Go back to last week. It's us. It's us. The point to all of this for tonight is to just put it right in your face so that you don't deny it, you don't excuse it, you don't minimize it, that you face it. Because there was a time in this country when we used to face problems, when we used to like, as I said last week, the challenges that were presented to us as Americans, and we tackled them. We attacked them. We didn't make excuses. We made things happen. I've said that multiple times, even on this particular program, in the abbreviated format of 10 to 15 minutes that I do. Okay? But these are facts, ladies and gentlemen. These things are not going away unless we actively do something about it, because we have one of the most systemic failures in leadership at the top that we have ever seen in this country, and that's coming from a history teacher, because those numbers do not lie. They're there. They're not going away. And when history books are written about this time, they're not going to be involved in emotion of, oh, I know this guy, I know that person, so I can't say anything about them because I'm living in it. No. Down the road, numbers, facts, and figures are what the historians will write about. There will be no emotion whatsoever when it is written, and we'll have it laid out for us, bare for all to see. I see it because I think historically and I view through an historical lens. The last 6 or 7 days since last week are easily and quantifiably one of, if not the worst periods in American history, and definitely the worst period in my lifetime. I have not seen anything worse. That's a fact. That is where we are at this point. I'm going to do more shows this week that tackle and deal with specifically certain aspects of what's going on. I'm not going to sit here and talk about systemic racism. I'm not going to sit here and talk about groups that are exacerbating the problem on the left and the right. So I don't want to hear that mess either. All right? You're un-American if you think it's just one side. You can quote me on that. You're un-American if you think it's just coming from one position or situation. It's coming from multiple sides. People that would love to see us blow up. Hell, it's even coming from outside forces outside of this. The problem where we're at now is that if Russia or China attacked us right now, we wouldn't even unite to fight back. We'd sit here like a bunch of crybabies wondering about, oh, did they do it or did in-house? We need to get our own damn house in order. Because if we were attacked militarily, we wouldn't even fight back. We'd be too busy arguing with each other about how to do it and where to go. And that's a fact. And you know it. Lastly, before I go, in a shortened 10 minutes, maybe around there, who knows, not keeping an eye on the time, I'm going to drop an image on you. This is real simple. I'm going to drop an image on you. I want you to contemplate. I want you to view. And everybody that's been with me for any length of time, you know where I begin, my alpha, and I end on my omega. It all begins and ends, ladies and gentlemen, with leadership. Leadership solves problems. Leadership does not exacerbate or increase problems. Leadership puts people in positions to succeed, not fail. Leadership moves people to common purpose and common cause, if not common direction. Leadership gets people to work together. Leadership unifies. Leadership makes us all Americans, regardless of color, shape, size, creed, region, whatever the hell you are. Leadership. And so as I mourn for my country and for my black brothers and sisters that have been done injustice to, because an injustice to one is an injustice to all, I submit for your consideration tonight. Where are we? Who are we? And where is leadership when it matters most, as my country burns and bleeds and its people dies? To consider. Thank you for your time.